Hey everybody, today I am in Brownsburg, Indiana. I'm actually in kind of the downtown area of Brownsburg, and you might think that how in the world could Brownsburg actually have a downtown? And while it's not very big, it does have one. So we're going to talk about the downtown area of Brownsburg just a little bit, and Brownsburg in general, and just kind of see what it has to offer if Brownsburg is a place that might be of interest to you. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, I'm Jason Compton with the Compton Home Group. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel, then make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to know everything there is to know about Brownsburg, Indiana, any of the west side suburbs, or any of the suburbs, or Indianapolis for that matter. And make sure you tap the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video, each and every week. Now we get calls and texts and emails, just reach outs of all kinds from people all over the country and all over the Indy Metro with questions about places like Brownsburg or just Indianapolis in general. So if you have questions at all, then don't hesitate to reach out any way that you know how, because we've always got your back with those questions. And then we've also got your back with your move to Indianapolis or within the Indy Metro. So today I am in old downtown Brownsburg, Indiana. And it's not very big, but of course Brownsburg isn't tremendously big either. It used to be, of course, much smaller, and in the 2000s, it's kind of exploded in its size, and it's roughly 27,000 people now. And given that I'm downtown Brownsburg, you'll probably hear quite a bit of noise, quite a bit of traffic right here along what's called Green Street, which is actually 267, and this connects Brownsburg to the south with Avon, and then to the south of that with Plainfield. And I'm coming up here on the corner of Green Street and US 136, which is actually Main Street in Brownsburg. So of course along Main Street there's quite a bit of traffic, definitely. But it's about 27,000 people now, and it's really, over the past 20 years or so, more than doubled in its size. Now the reason Brownsburg has doubled in its size is because the popularity of suburbs around Indianapolis really took off in the 2000s, and Brownsburg is really conveniently located. It has I-74 running right kind of through Brownsburg, maybe a little bit on the north side. So you've got some really easy access to Indianapolis. But other than that easy access to Indianapolis, Brownsburg is just a nice place to live. Really nice schools, nice neighborhoods. So, you combine that with a really great location, then people are probably going to want to be in that particular area. But like a lot of suburbs that are growing, and Brownsburg is not the biggest suburb on the west side of Indianapolis, that's actually Plainfield. But once you get into this particular size, over 20,000 people, pushing 30, and get a little bit bigger than that, then people kind of want a little bit of uniqueness or culture or a heart to the place that they're living. Now that's of course not everybody, but certainly a lot of people want that. And so this particular kind of loud, busy downtown area of Brownsburg is charming for sure, but it's a little bit dated in that the buildings are very old. The use for them is probably not as expansive or as varied as it potentially could be. And plus, honestly, there's just not all that much room here. Plus, it's exceptionally busy with traffic, and so when you're trying to walk around down here like I am, your head's on a swivel, looking everywhere, making sure that you're not stepping out in front of traffic, of course. So CARMEL, for sure, on the north side of Indianapolis, has kind of led the way as they really expanded. Now CARMEL's of course a much bigger suburb than Brownsburg is. CARMEL's about 100,000 people or so, but CARMEL, Fishers, even Noblesville, which are all definitely much larger than Brownsburg, have led the charge in trying to create a more substantial and desired heart to their cities, and they've done such a good job with those. They are very attractive, very walkable, with lots and lots of things to do. So Brownsburg is on the heels, even though creating that particular heart is now a couple of years in the making. So we're not talking about a very old effort or an effort that spanned back all that many years, although Brownsburg has certainly been here a very long time, since really the early-ish 1800s. There have been settlers here, and we've had Brownsburg, but just not the population. Now that population's there, the desire for just having more of a city center has certainly risen. So This downtown area of Brownsburg, while not incredibly large, it still helps with a little bit of that city heart. But just to the north of me is kind of where are really truly taking place. So putting a lot more office space and flexible office space, or even co-working space, luxury apartments, and then also some retail space too. And so it's very young right now, but there will be more walkability, more restaurants, all located in that downtown area. Plus, one of the cool things that I do like about the Brownsburg downtown area is the fact that it's connected to one of the larger parks in the area. It's Arbuckle Acres Park. So you could actually park right there at the park and then walk into the downtown area, get something to eat, come back to the park, whatever you want to do there, or vice versa. You know, you could be in the downtown area and think, well, we're finished with dinner or finished with lunch and we want to take a walk or go into the park. It's right there and you don't have to move your car. And plus, it's pedestrian friendly. So it's very safe for your family, if you're on a bike, whatever it is that you're doing outside of being in a vehicle. So I'm walking north away from that old part of Brownsburg downtown and into that newer section. So it is walkable, plenty of retail space that's available, restaurants will soon go in, although there's some restaurants in now, but that'll continue to populate as we get into the future a little bit more. But certainly giving Brownsburg more of the heart that it needs. And most of the suburbs that you see, I'd say across the country, at least a lot of times, can lack that. So you get this big suburban sprawl and a lot of blandness, or just a lot of generic places. So you have lots of houses, maybe even nice houses. A few grocery stores here and there, just some strip malls, things like that, but nothing of really super big interest. And no place to gather, no place to have festivals, no place to have concerts, no place to have restaurants. Just a place where you can park, get out, and enjoy where you live. So Brownsburg is on that particular path now. And it's been a long time coming, given the growth that Brownsburg's had over the past 20 years, but it is certainly here and on its way. So Brownsburg could be a good fit for you. It may not be a good fit for you. Of course, depends upon, still very busy, big truck behind me. Depends upon what location you're really into. So if the west side is something that you're looking at because you just like the area, or your job is on the west side and your commute's going to be relatively short, then Brownsburg could be a nice place. And given that this is now going in and going to be part of Brownsburg and part of its heart and culture, then it kind of adds to the charm that Brownsburg has. So if you have any questions about downtown Brownsburg, Brownsburg in general, any of the suburbs in the Indy Metro or Indianapolis itself, then make sure that you reach out. And until the next one, we'll see you later.